On the one hand, I really thoroughly enjoyed Charlie the Lonesome Cougar. This is a Disney film from 1967. On the other, I have to acknowledge that the narrative is kind of sloppy, all over the place, and very slow. So I loved it because I love big cats, but as an actual film, it's not that great. This was directed by Winston Hibler, written by Jack Speirs and Hibler, and it's narrated by Rex Allen. Yes, it's narrated, which I wasn't expecting. But it's kind of a hybrid of one of Disney's classic nature documentaries, which I love, which is one of the reasons why I found it to be quite engaging. But there's also this narrative as well, and it's the story of this young cougar called Charlie, who was alone as a cub, so he's domesticated. But as he grows up, he begins to become, well, when he gets into a pretty sticky situation, and it shows him life as a wild cougar. And it's unclear, in a good, unpredictable way, whether or not he will remain domesticated or if he'll have to be released back into the wild. And I'm not going to answer what happens with that. I will say that that part of the narrative, although slow, was quite fascinating, and I was very curious to see ultimately what would happen with Charlie. And one may argue that he never should have been domesticated, but at the same time, he was a cub on his own without a mother. He probably would have not survived. So there are definitely pros and cons to what had happened with Charlie. But honestly, most of this is just footage of this cougar. I assume it's one cougar, it could be multiple that look similar, I'm not entirely sure. But footage of this cougar with the voiceover narration, and it is so much like the nature documentaries from Disney at this time. So if you like those, you'll love this. But we do also have this narrative, and I feel like the narrative's forgotten about for maybe 60% of the film, and it just seems like they were trying to be overly creative and say, oh, hey, this is a documentary, but with a fun narrative. And that's my cat meowing because I'm not allowed to talk about other cats, apparently. Um, and I feel like they tried too hard but didn't get the balance right. And it feels too much just like a documentary. But again, because I love big cat documentaries, that appealed to me personally. But had this been about, I don't know, Billy the Lonesome Bison, I'm not that bothered about bisons and documentaries about bisons, so I immediately would have gone, this is rubbish, you've neglected the narrative, what are you doing? So I'm very aware that I'm kind of biased with my love of big cats, and I can completely accept that as a film, as a work of fiction, it's not very good. It really isn't. I'm also not 100% convinced that they were very kind to the cougar. I have no solid evidence to back this up, but there is a scene where Charlie is trapped in a room within the narrative of the film, and he's desperately trying to get out, and I kind of worry that they actually put the cougar in that situation. I apologize if you can hear my cat. She's decided there are two birds outside at the window, and she's decided she wants them. She's not getting them, but she's having a bit of a mad half hour, appropriately. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned that they actually put the cougar in that enclosed environment and he became actually distressed. That might not be the case. As I said, I have no actual evidence beyond that scene to back that up, but it's just worth bearing in mind that the cougar does get into some distressing situations. Let's hope that that wasn't the case. There are some key moments in this that I rather liked, but also I love Chainsaw. Chainsaw is a Jack Russell, and he is absolutely gorgeous. I really love him so much. We have cougars playing in the snow, which is so cute. We also have the log flume, which is not the best situation for Charlie to be in, but the way it was filmed, I thought was pretty great. So there are definitely bits about this that worked well, and if you like big cat documentaries, you'll definitely enjoy this. But I can't deny the fact that it's very sloppy, it's all over the place. They did not get the balance between live action or between fiction and documentary right at all. If you're a fan of Disney's animal documentaries, you'll love it. But if you're looking for a well constructed work of fiction, a good narrative, Charlie the Lonesome Cougar doesn't quite fit that bill.